myself so that it's recorded and you're my witness. I am Wendy Michelle Shoemate, and I am 50. What am I? 52 years old now. Born November 2nd, 1973, and it is St. Patrick's Day, March 17th. Is it? Is it the 17th or the 16th? Sorry.
What?
Is it the 17th or the 16th?
Today's the 16th.
Okay, March 16th, 2025. My daughter, Victoria Hare, is 21 years old, is with me, and Rylan, who's 9, and probably he's just here, but she's bearing witness to this. I am of sound mind and body. I am not high. I am not junked out like Rick likes to tell everybody. My tooth was knocked out by his girlfriend out there under the briar bush in between Dallas Downs and Sullivan Farms. I mean, it happened. They should have record of her cruiser being over there that night on November 3rd into November 4th. And they kept me out there for many hours and beat me. And a couple times unconscious. And since then, I've had, like, sensation that my fingertips are going numb. And, like, I have a pinched nerve, kind of. But it goes away. And then it'll come back. And it's debilitating. It cripples me. It turns my hand and arm in. I can't even use my right arm. And I feel like they've put like a TENS unit in my body without my approval. Like, I haven't signed anything. And the day of the hospital, Victoria, you were there, weren't you, with Taylor? Tori?
Yeah.
You were at the hospital? She didn't sign anything saying to put something into my body, did she? She says she signed just a text message thing.
Dad said something about that.
Well, she didn't sign anything that did anything other than allow them to text message her. So they didn't come back while I was in surgery saying, well, we need to do this, and this is an option. Do you guys want to do it, or should we wait until she's awake? They didn't come to you guys in the middle of surgery, right?
No.
Okay, so then that would be when it was. Or before. He's like, and then Rick said, you don't read what you signed? I said, well, I did read it. And it said I was having a laminectomy. It didn't say anything else. He said, well, they didn't do anything. Okay, well, why is it that I feel like a TENS unit is run up through my body, and that is, I'm being electrocuted as we speak. That's how I feel. The more I argue with him, the worse it gets. The more I sit still back here and do nothing, the better it gets. The more I call the Department of Justice, the more it goes up. My blood pressure is getting high, and I have a feeling that because Rick tells on himself in his drunkenness, he told me, oh yeah, if you have a pinched nerve, it could make your blood pressure go all crazy and stuff too. I don't know. You know, just stupid like Benny Hill shit. So straight up, he tells on himself. They are doing something to me because she wants to cover it up, what they're doing. I'm saying because she would lose her job, her badge, and she's going to cost a whole lot of other guys their jobs. So why wouldn't they just get rid of little old me, right? I'm expendable. And if it weren't for my son needing me to even sleep at night, I would be dead by now. Because that night, November 3rd, that's, I think, what they planned to do was do something to me. And since I've been back, I haven't been able to go tell anybody because I'm terrified. And they do keep the intimidation going. You know, when I was arrested, they had 30 cop cars here. Rick told me that. They surrounded the entire house with cop cars because they wanted to make a spectacle for the neighborhood so that the neighborhood would be angry with me that the police were here getting me out of the house because I was stuck in a box in the closet and they wouldn't let my daughter back in there. And they yanked me out, got my tooth knocked out. They pulled my arm just about out of the socket. So either way, they are at fault for what is going on with me. If I die, know that Richard Gomez-Grulle had something to do with it. Whether it be a heart attack and natural causes, he can make it happen. He's a science man. He has a master's in science. He's a scientist. And I know that anybody as a scientist is always going to be one. And I can also tell you that I do look bad with my tooth knocked out, but it wasn't something I chose to have done to me. I didn't ask for them to take me out there and beat me up for hours. And it happened. And yet, he don't want to help me get my mouth fixed. He don't want to help me do nothing, but he wants to condemn me and tell me that my son isn't his son and that I always say that. I never say that. Ryland Shoemate is his son. He chose to redact the documentation to add him to the birth certificate because he didn't want it on there. And because he works for the government, he had it taken back. I know that to be true. It just is. Just like all these other things I find out along the way, like that cop and him having a relationship and probably having a child together, was because she heard me telling how he is a cheating, lying bastard. And she thought, oh, opportunity. Let me get up here and get into Franklin School District with my kid. Yeah, I'm going to take this man. Winked at him and probably tried to close a couple cases by having her in my house, looking through my shit. Thinking you're going to find something, but I don't have anything. Rick has stuff because anything I got from Lindsay, he took. So who's the real crook here? Seriously. I also know that James Elkins said I was a part of a study that I didn't realize I was a part of in so many words when I was called into his office back in, I think, 2019, 2020, when my case was open. I mean, I can't even scratch my fucking nose because my hand is so dead. They're destroying me. I want this to stop, and it's injustice, and I need somebody to fight for me. So if I die, you better look at that man in there and start really looking at him for the things that he's done. Because I believe wholeheartedly he had something to do with my ex-husband's death too. Because 2 days before I went in to tell my story about what happened to me, this same story that I'm saying right now, he died of mysterious causes. I know that I watched the movie about MK Ultra, which I had no idea about until it was brought to my attention when it came to studies on addicts, and that the CIA were known to do these things. And the CIA were known to use the women in these addict studies. Hang on a second. When I responded to the ad to Rick, I think back now, and I remember thinking oddly about putting my name up on Craigslist and wanting to reach out and find a nanny position that way because of the simple fact that people prostitute themselves every day on there. And I think that's what he thought he found. He saw me as a beacon of light because I was an addict in recovery, trying to stay clean, trying to get my kids back and trying to be good. And he wanted to take that from me. And he did. I relapsed. By the grace of God, I lived. My son was born, and I've been clean ever since. I've never failed a drug test. I have relapsed one time, one slip, never again. And it hurt my kids so much, I will never do that again. And after seeing my ex-husband die and how much it hurt them, I will never do that again. So if he takes me from them, please know, my heart's getting tired. I can feel it. They're running it up, and it hurts. So I'm just letting you know, he needs to be taken into custody immediately because it is him. Him and Rachel Gober. If that's her name, I hope it's Rachel Gober. I know that the woman that I was encountering when I was being arrested had blonde hair and it was a bun up on top of her head. That is the woman that I know to be the one that's come here on more than one occasion and screwed him. I wholeheartedly believe that she did take advantage of that and took him and destroyed my family because over the years he's done nothing but talk about how horrible and disgusting I am, that I was a thief. When in actuality, his financial abuse caused that. I have just been destroyed in so many ways in 10 years and lied to, and my whole entire relationship was a lie. Nothing was real. I believe he might even be married to his wife. I don't know. I just want the fucking truth to come out. I deserve truth because you know what? I've been through a lot of shit in my life, but this takes the fucking cake. For people to do horrible things to other people, this motherfucker takes the cake. Excuse my French. All the way to God, he takes the cake. Please, please just know I am not high. I take less medication. Do my blood work. Do tissue samples. You can take my hair and tell the last time I took drugs. And it will tell you that it was not today, and it hasn't been for quite some time. I am clean, and he is not going to take that from me. And she isn't either. But she needs to start realizing that she's being lied to and stop believing everything he fucking says, because he lies. He was in there smiling, Tori, when I was telling him that it is not right. I'm going to be having a heart attack, and in front of Ryland's going to find me. He thinks it's funny. He's smiling like it's enjoyable. Like looking at the TV like, yeah. Just like that. Like disgusting. He's sick in the fucking head. These guys are using these trap houses, and that's what this is. That's why it looks like this. They're using them for their own personal dens, sex dens, if you will. Like to have their fun time with. He sleeps here all night because he has to. It's his job, right? And then every day at 4:30 in the afternoon, he leaves here at the same time. Every single day for years now. So something's going on. It's like a debriefing. I'm not dumb. There's many things I am. Stupid's never been one of them. And he has every single time encountered and taken for me as a stupid bitch. Seriously. He has underestimated my intelligence all these years. Because he thinks women are just dumb and they belong in the kitchen and they're pregnant and stupid. Ain't useful for nothing but having kids, right? Mm-hmm. Well, just know that he is the motherfucker who killed me. Hand to God, him and his girlfriend that he lies about, they are. And the first time you act up after I die, he's sending you away. You know what that means. Why would you kill me just to send your son away? Why wouldn't you just allow us to leave here? Why wouldn't you allow him and I to get my things and go? Because you're sick in the fucking head? All right. Well, anyway, that's my statement. So rest his ass. I'm serious. As soon as I'm dead, this thing needs to go to whoever. Tori, do you understand? I'm going to send it to you. And Taylor, I love you so much. I'm sorry that it worked out the way it did, but, you know, I tried to tell you. He's psychotic. That man is not right. He thinks it's funny. Others being hurt and hurting other people, it's not funny. Digitally signed it by both of us, Wendy Shumate and Victoria Hare.